key of imagination.
This is a video tutorial for the tutorial that I posted in the 90s workshop on how to prepare some images for the plastic layer. And so what we'll do is we'll start out. I have the manual for Independence Day loaded into Acrobat Reader, and what we want to do is we want to scroll down to the very last page because we're going to use this image here as our guide. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and click in it. That'll select it, and we want to edit, copy. Now we will switch over to the GIMP that I already have loaded in, and we want to go File, Create from Clipboard, and this will paste that page in as an image. Now what we want to do is we want to crop out all of the excess portions that we don't need, so we just have left the playfield. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to 100% by hitting the keyboard shortcut of 1 on the keyboard. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and, I've already actually got it selected, but if you don't, select our crop tool and go ahead and make a rectangle inside the image. Now what we want to do is we want to place this upper left box up in the upper left corner, and that'll tell it that's the edge we want to keep. You'll notice how the edge turns green when you're over an existing line. It's just kind of an easier way to help you out, I guess, to make sure you're on the line. And now what we want to do is go ahead and take this right side and adjust it and align it over to the right edge of the image that we want to keep. So we'll scroll over just a little bit, grab it here in the center, and we just move it over, and again until it turns green. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing for the bottom. We'll go ahead and scroll down a little bit. We want to grab this here in the bottom part, and we just scroll down till the end where we want, and then we move it up a little bit to about there. As you can see, this line that we're lining it to is not perfectly straight all the way across, and that's why it's a little bit green on the left but not on the right, but it'll be close enough. So once that's selected, you hit enter on the keyboard, and now our image is cropped. You can go ahead and save this image if you like. I'm not going to for this tutorial, but I would recommend you do, just so you don't have to copy and paste and crop it again. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and load in the ID guide that I had saved before, and this is one that I posted in the forum previously, and this was kind of just our guide that we used to draw some of the walls and whatnot, and it's actually this one here. And as you can see, the image size for this one is 909 by 2048. So actually what we want to do is we want to take this image that we just made for the plastics and resize it to the same size. So we can go to the image menu and we can go to scale image, and I'm going to go ahead and type in 909 for the width right here, and notice what the height will do when I hit tab. It actually adjusted to 2056. What we want to do is we want to click on this little chain link here, and that will allow us to type in two separate numbers here and not maintain the aspect ratio. So now we can type independently any number in for the width and the height, and it'll give us those exact dimensions. So in this case, for the height, we want to type in 2048 and then scale. So now, as you can see, our image is 909 by 2048. So that will match this other image up just perfectly. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take this image for the plastic, and we will edit, and we will copy, and then we will switch over to our other guide image, and we will say edit, paste as, and new layer. That way we have two layers that we can maintain in our file in case we need to refer back and forth between the two, or whatever we want to do. That way we just have them for future use. So go ahead and select new layer. So now you can see we have two layers over here. We have our clipboard layer that we just pasted in, and our background. And if you click on this little eye icon, you can turn the layer on and off. As you can see, it switches between the two. What we want to do is make sure that we still have the clipboard image selected and on showing. We'll go ahead and set the opacity to about 50% so we can see through it. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and align it to the underlying background image. Once again, I'm going to select full 100% zoom by hitting the 1 key on the keyboard. After we have to make it, we have to click up here to make sure that it's the active window. I didn't do that. So there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use some things for reference. It should be pretty close as it is, but in case it's not, we can use this tool here, which is the move tool, and it'll allow you to move things around. So as you can see, we're pretty close there. Again, this line here is from our new image of the plastics layer. This other here is from the original one. So again, we just kind of want to make them line up a little bit. And then we can scroll down and we can kind of see that we're off a little bit. So we can kind of adjust it just a little bit here at the bottom. We can go back up to the top and we can see, yeah, we're pretty close, a little off. But again, we're not going to be able to get it perfect because these two images are not perfect. But anyway, this will kind of get it close enough. So as you can see, we're pretty close. Okay, now again, what you can do is you can save this image that has both of these layers out as either the native GIMP format or possibly as a Photoshop PSD file, and again, that will maintain the layers. And again, what we're going to be doing eventually is you'll be adding various plastic pieces as new layers to this, and again, that way with saving layers, you can turn layers on and off if you need to, or if you ever need to possibly change one of them. If you found a better quality image, you can delete or turn off that particular plastic piece on its own layer and paste in a new one. So now what we want to do is we want to load in a picture that has the plastic pieces, and I believe I have that right here. Okay, so now here's our image here, and just for this tutorial, what I'm going to do is again zoom in to 100% by hitting the 1 key, and I'm going to go ahead and pick this piece right here just because that's a large piece and it'll be fairly easy. Now as it turns out, this piece actually is broken. Right here it shows the end, and this is actually turned 180 degrees around, but in reality this piece actually comes down to about here with this. But anyway, for this tutorial it'll be okay. So now what we want to do is we want to select this tool here, which is the free select tool, and that will allow us to make a polygon selection around the image, and we can